Here we are. g.a.s, otherwise known as Gear Acquisition Syndrome. It always starts the same. One camera, one lens, one idea. But somehow it never stops there. I tell myself this one is the last. The one that will finally make sense of it all. The one that feels right in the hand. The one that makes me see differently. But the truth? I'm not sure that camera even exists. End the endless cycle. But it doesn't end. It never ends. I'm scrolling through forums, watching reviews at 2 a.m, hunting for that magic combination of specs and soul. When that new camera box arrives, for a moment it feels like an answer. Like I've finally solved the puzzle. Until I haven't. And suddenly the honeymoon period fades and I'm back to where I started. Each one promised to change the way I see. And they did, but not in the way I expected. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not about finding the one perfect tool. Maybe it's about discovering different versions of myself through each tool I hold. They're all fighting for a space on the same shelf. And sometimes I wonder, am I just collecting cameras or am I collecting proof that I've lived through these moments? Proof that I've tried and that I failed, maybe. For a while now, I've been having different cameras to fulfill those challenges, to fulfill those kind of angles that I have. You know, I don't want to take my workhorse camera out with me every day for a nice little walkabout with a friend doing some street photography. That's not going to be the camera for it. So I need another camera, something that's compact and small, that will give me that kind of inspiration, more vibe. And you need to separate those things, but at the same time I can't be having several cameras to do certain things because I can't afford it. Photography and videography is not my full-time job. Any money that I make is extra. You know, I don't rely on the money I make from photography. Otherwise, I'd be dead. I have this dilemma where I need the camera that I want to use in an everyday circumstance, whilst also being the camera that can be the professional workhorse for example, weddings. And that is in a photography, but also a videography perspective. Now, we already know that you can't really get all of that all in one camera. The problem for me is a perfect camera, which we know doesn't exist, is it needs to look good. Now, a lot of people will say, why does that matter? Because it's about what the camera can do rather than what it looks like. Who cares about what it looks like? But it does matter what it looks like, because do you buy and wear clothes that you don't like the look of? Do you dress in a certain style that you don't like? No, of course you don't. You dress in clothes that you feel comfortable in, so why would you carry around a camera that you don't like the look of or doesn't feel like it suits you? So that is a big factor. I've always been like this Fuji fanboy. I love Fuji films, like look, they're aesthetic. Most of their camera lines are, rangefinder style with the X100-6, the XE, the X Pro line. Those are the cameras I love. I've owned lots of Fuji cameras. Fuji feels like it's never enough. Now, I had the X-H2S, which was amazing for video, but it only had an APS-C 26 megapixel sensor, which is great for video, but it's not good for photo. You know, it's not enough. Now, a lot of people would say, well, it is enough, really. You know, like, and it is. I've shot weddings on the X-H2S, photography-wise. But there's a want inside me that I need at least full frame and high resolution. It needs to be compact, but it needs to be powerful. How am I going to find that, but can also be really good at video? I can't keep all of these cameras. I can't have one camera to be my video camera, and another one to be my photography camera, and another one to be my everyday compact camera, my street photography camera, for example. I need to combine those 3 or 4 cameras into 1 or 2 at the most. I'd love to keep all my cameras, but it's just not financially viable. I've been shooting with film, but then that slowed down because it costs a lot of money now. So then I end up with a camera like the Fujifilm X-Half, which kind of is trying to give me that disposable film camera feeling with its film camera mode and everything like that. But again, it's like it's another cost for only a specific thing. I'm actually filming this now on a Nikon Z6 III. Amazing camera. And that partially stacked sensor makes it amazing for video as well. This kind of camera is perfect for my photography and videography professional work. Great. That's the box ticked. The only problem is it doesn't tick any other boxes. It doesn't inspire me to pick it up for anything other than just doing professional paid work. It's also massive, and I have big lenses with it. And so this is why I have the X106, to fill the void of the compact, small, everyday camera that looks great when you've got it on you, on the street, on holiday with your family. It's more than enough. It's absolutely fine. But it also means that that camera is only for this. I can't use it as a professional camera. I can't change the lens. You know, that's great. It's a second camera. It can't be my only camera. Okay, then I've got 2 cameras. That's fine. The next thing is that the X106 cannot give me the super high resolution, the depth that you can have in bigger sensors. And so I bought the GFX50R. I've had that 3 times now. There's my 50 megapixel medium format sensor that gives me amazing image quality. It gives me what I want in terms of slowing down and get the feeling of film. But it can't do video. It's absolutely terrible. You know, that's not the camera for video, obviously. Thinking of that film feeling, it then branches you, especially when you have Fuji cameras. The next logical step, well, it's not logical, the next illogical step is Leica. Beautiful cameras again, something special about them. I'm just searching for the right camera that will give me that feeling when I go out and shoot with it. The Leica M8. Now, I'm not going to get high resolution with this, am I? But for some reason I also like the film vibe, that it doesn't have to be a perfect image. It feels like film, it feels like an M6, doesn't sound like an M6, but it feels like an M6. the rangefinder manual focusing. It gives you that attachment again to photography. It makes you feel alive when you're taking photos. It makes every photo that you do take feel very important. Is there a middle ground? Is there a compromise that I can make? Is there a camera out there that is closest to that perfect camera? The only camera at the moment that feels like it can do more than just one angle. It can't do them perfectly, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be the best at all these different things. There's like a middle ground compromise here. But at the moment, as much as it pains me to say, it's Sony. It's the Sony a7CR. And the reason why this is the camera that I have at the moment, and the reason why I'm going to have to sell my Nikon and my Fuji cameras, is because this can give me that compact everyday camera carry, especially with these small lenses like the 40mm f2.5. It literally is not much different in size to the X100VI, but it's got a full frame 60 megapixel sensor. So it's now satisfying the high resolution need that I have, but in a compact camera. But it can also do video well enough. I mean, it's nowhere near the level of an FX3 or the Nikon Z6 III or the ZR that's just come out. But it's good enough for most situations. Okay, it's got a bit of a crop at 4K 60, I can't do 4K 120, but you can still make it work. And again, this is about compromise here. This is about trying to change 3 to 4 cameras down into most of it being one. So this camera can be my everyday camera when I put a small lens on it, but then I can put for example, the 20 to 70 f4, and then it becomes a bigger camera. I can fit a cage onto it, and then suddenly it becomes my professional camera that can snap high resolution for weddings, events, and also the video is good enough for that. This is about bringing it down to just that one camera, or at least one camera plus the Leica. Let's say I keep the Leica because that will be my more slowed down film-like experience with the CCD sensor that gives me that magic. And yet through all the gear, the specs, the constant searching, I come back to the same realization. The perfect camera just doesn't exist, but the perfect photo might. And it won't be because of the gear. It'll be because I picked something up and I went out and I used it.